Lately, I've been getting a lot of complaints from people running their own blogs, business owners, and business profile owners. Views have dropped. Why? Reach isn't what it used to be. Have Instagram's algorithms changed? Asror, what's going on? Why is our reach dropping? I'm hearing things like, as a new system appeared, our previous segments, our previous tactics, for some reason they're not working now. Asror, what should we do? Is this happening to everyone or is it just us? These are the questions they've been asking. I'll share some data with you here. On Instagram, the total number of views for Reels has exceeded 140 billion per day. That's 140 billion times a day. As for YouTube Shorts, it is quite astonishing that over 200 billion short-form videos are being watched every single day. From this, we can clearly conclude that short videos have already become an important and regular part of our daily lives. There's no giving them up, and it's no exaggeration to say they're working as a great tool today. If you're wondering why, big businesses, all kinds of people, content creators and bloggers are using these short videos to grow their businesses, improve their lives, or for other purposes. Now, if you're running your own blog, you're also making content. Some people are getting good views. Others are comforting themselves with excuses like Instagram's algorithms have changed, the system is different now, or everyone's views have dropped. Someone used to have a segment that was working. They had certain formats that worked, but they don't work now. You're using this exact tool too. Your competitors are using it as well. For some, it's going well, for others, not so much. The reason is that today it's becoming increasingly challenging to keep people's attention and actually get them to subscribe with just ordinary generic videos. Now here's the most interesting part. In this era where attention is so hard to capture, where can we possibly find ideas for content that's truly engaging, genuinely useful, gets subscribers, and helps us make money? We're filming this video specifically to answer that question. Now during this video, I'll show you. I'll share the 4 most effective tools for finding ideas when you're out of content, so once you learn them, God willing, you'll have almost no trouble creating content. Friends, it's no exaggeration to say my main activity is on Instagram. I post more content there, share stories, and reply to those who leave comments. I talk to my subscribers in DMs, in my stories, and so on. If you haven't joined my Instagram yet, I recommend you do so. If you're watching this video through my Instagram, or if you're watching as a subscriber on YouTube itself, to support the hard work we're doing on YouTube, I'd like to ask you to like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm confident this will be great motivation for us and for our team who are putting all of this together. The very first of my 4 tools that I'm going to tell you about is called CustDev. In marketing terms, CustDev can be defined as analyzing the target audience and studying their interests and desires. Customer development, or CustDev, is truly one of our most essential and important tools for generating new ideas, understanding exactly what our target audience really needs, knowing what to talk about to keep them interested and engaged, and figuring out what to show them so they'll want to buy from us. And if you're ever wondering where to start first, I would always, without hesitation, strongly recommend that you begin your very first task with CustDev. In Uzbekistan, many people look down on CustDev or think it's not a very serious or important task. To give you a sense of how relevant this work actually is, let me share one fact. There's the Coca-Cola company, which we all know well, and this company spends over $4 billion a year just on analyzing its customers and gathering information about them. But we often limit ourselves by wondering if this work is even necessary, thinking, I already know everything about my clients. We often think we know everything about our customer. Usually, when we give this exact task to students, in 95% of cases, it's revealed that they actually know very little about their customers. So what do I ask in a CustDev? What kind of answers should I be looking for? How do I actually conduct it? If you're asking yourself these questions, you should interview 10 to 15 people who could be your potential subscribers or customers. And during this interview, you'll get answers to your questions. Namely, first, why exactly do they buy a product or service from you? Second, what are their biggest problems in this field? Third, why do they have a need for your product or service? And fourth, you gather information on what result they want to achieve by satisfying this need. And based on that information, you then build the ideas for the content you're putting out on Instagram, YouTube, or other platforms around that collected data. For example, I might have a problem, let's say, with working on camera, like a fear of it. I'll already start making content for Instagram, how one can overcome the fear of being on camera. For instance, I might post something on Telegram, like how we help this client overcome their fear of the camera, and the person reading that content thinks to themselves that they have that exact same problem. They see their problem addressed in my content, realize there is a solution, and start watching. The chances of them becoming a potential client are then very high. And this very same tactic is highly likely to work for you in your own business as well. The second tool is making effective use of Reels. You could also call it making effective use of the time we spend on Instagram. Once I discovered this system for myself, my work became about 4 to 5 times easier than before. And I'm going to explain that to you right now, and if you use it, your difficulties with creating content will be largely resolved. If you're wondering what kind of tool this is, check this out. We spend a lot of time watching some kind of content on Instagram every day anyway. Some people spend 1 hour, some spend 2 hours, and some spend 3 hours. They just sit there watching content on Reels. And to make the time we spend in that process as effective as possible, there's one good tool, which is the saving tool. You see some great content on Instagram, the filming is great, let's say the editing is great, or you liked some idea, or you like the music in the background, or you got some inspiration or an idea from that video. You can save those videos in different folders on Instagram. I've done the same thing myself, saving them and organizing them into different folders. For example, I have an idea folder for making different videos and a trending music folder. I collect all those great, well-performing songs into a separate folder. I have a separate folder called expert content for myself, or viral content, visuals, a folder I've set aside for my students. And the best part here is that I've divided these videos I'm saving into different folders. For example, for my students to see, meaning if I save one great video, it's possible to arrange it so that the video automatically ends up in the saved folder of 30 or 40 of my students as well. Or here I have a folder called trending music. If I save a song there, it automatically goes to Izat, who is our cameraman. He also gets access. It goes to him automatically, and Asror, aka who edits the videos, doesn't have to ask me what song to put in the background. He just goes into the folder and has the ability to automatically use the one that fits. It's a great tool. I think you should definitely use it. Now, you might have a question at this point. Hey, I just watch videos like that. I don't come up with ideas myself. Do I just copy paste from those people? Do I just copy and steal their content like that? You might think that Asror is also making this kind of content. I'll stop you right there. That's not how it works. Right now, I'm going to teach you the formula for creating creative content. I didn't actually come up with this myself. I think this was invented centuries ago, and it's been passed down through the ages until it reached us and we were taught the same thing, and now I'm teaching it to you so that in the future, God willing, you can teach it to your own students. Look, there's a simple formula for creative content, or for creating anything creative in general. To explain it, let's say this is one creative video, this is the first creative video, and this is the second creative video. So you've seen two great creative videos. In the first creative video, let's say you liked the filming, the editing, and the cinematography really impressed you. In the second creative video, you liked the information the person shared, or their delivery, or something else. You took a certain idea from the information provided here, and let's say you took the filming style from there. At the very least, you took the hook used at the beginning of this second video. It started with a great tool, and you like that. You took it. Now this is where the third creative video comes in, and this part will be yours. You took a bit from here, a bit from there, and in the third stage, you're already making your own video, adding your own ideas and information, filming it like that, using the hook from this one, changing the information, and making it even better and richer, and that video becomes yours. You can keep making your content using this same tool. Now, to combine these creative elements, we'll need to save them there. What I usually do is, when I sit down to create a content plan, I open those saved videos and start working on my content using those ideas. Our third tool is the process of breaking down content into very specific categories and formats. Believe me, it is truly no exaggeration to say that this has been, without a doubt, my single biggest personal discovery for the entire year of 2025. We've been actively involved in this line of work since 2019. We started providing services back in 2020. To date, I've personally helped over 50 entrepreneurs and specialists develop their personal brands, and we've provided social media marketing services to over 100 companies in total. And in this process, Our biggest difficulty, the main challenge that really takes up the most time and energy, is actually creating the content plan, coming up with ideas and all that. And the part that truly boosts our overall efficiency and the results we achieve, which is what primarily helps our clients gain even more subscribers and increase their sales, is exactly when we create really great content plans, make them highly effective, get high views, and establish strong, persuasive sales content. That's when our efficiency really starts to climb. And in this entire process, the tool that truly helped us to significantly reduce the amount of time spent on our work by up to 5 times, increase our sales by an average of 2 to 3 times, and at the same time simultaneously boost our video views by up to 10 times, was breaking down our content into specific categories and different formats. Now, how does this work? What's the sequence? If you're wondering what's done and how it's done, I'll show you. Look, for our overall work, specifically our content plans, there's a program called Notion. We're used to doing it in this program, and I always recommend it to my students because it's no exaggeration to say it's the ideal tool for creating content plans. So, what do we do here? Categories, I've set up over 10 different categories for myself right here. Business owner, breakdown. If I were ... personal development. My path, famous people's strategies. Life, one day, how to blogging. Personal results, informational and profile breakdown. You've probably seen a lot of this content on my Instagram. Now we also break this content down by format to make the filming process as easy as possible and avoid overthinking these things while shooting. We categorize them into formats. We have about 10 different formats as well. Podcast format and half format. Meaning it's a format where I'm talking here and some video is playing above. A half and half before after, which means a video giving 2 types of information. Voiceover format, this exact format where you sit and look at the camera. Standing with the phone looking at the camera, 2 people on screen, video with text over music, and clips from training. If I divide it into categories and formats like this when I sit down to make a content plan, see, how do we usually work? We set aside one day for filming. Right now, during our challenge, when we do one shoot, we're taking 20, 25, sometimes even 30 videos in a single day. But normally, on a regular day, when we start a shoot, we take from 7 to 10 up to 12 videos maximum, and we prepare the ideas for these videos a day before. To save time and stop the question, what video should I take now, from eating my brain when I sit down to brainstorm, we've divided it into categories, and when I sit down, I just open it and see I have this, and this category. I have a category called profile review, let's say. I have a category called if I were ... let's say. I have a category called how to, let's say. I have a category called running a blog. I'll prepare 3 videos for each of these 4, and then my 12 video content plan will be ready. I start with a plan, and the content doesn't look the same. It starts to become diverse. And now I'll add some extras to it. I write the topic and then the information inside it, meaning what will be discussed in this video. After that, who will do the video editing? Then, if there's a URL for that video, you can drop the link. If I've seen some reference, like I taught you in the previous second tool, if the idea was inspired by some video, I leave that URL next to it as a reference. There will be an option to add it. Inside this, let's say, there's an option to write certain texts, and we use it in this exact order, in this sequence. Now, if you happen to need the template for this content plan and ask where to get it, we'll put the link to our Telegram channel in the description of this video. We'll write it there. We've posted it on that channel. You can freely take it and use it to create your own content for free. And finally, the 4th tool is not coming up with ideas for the content plan all by yourself. I used to think that if I sat down alone to make a content plan, great ideas would come to me. I thought I could create great things. No. Recent research and compelling facts demonstrate that if time is spent on collaborative content planning, the very effectiveness will be several times higher. We've also been doing this with our team lately. Every Monday we have our team meeting and we review the plan facts in our meeting. After our general meeting, we're diving into a specific content plan and it's having a really great effect. Ideas don't just come from me, I share the things I want to bring out myself. The guys then weigh in, sharing their own ideas, and based on our segments, they suggest who should speak, who we should feature, and what content to create. This allows us to further optimize and produce excellent content, and you can do the exact same thing. Whether at work or with those close to you, when you meet and gather, you should discuss what kind of content you're going to prepare together, discuss what to post on Instagram or YouTube and what topics to cover, then turn those discussions into actual content. If 4 or 5 people each contribute at least 2 different ideas, we can easily come up with 8 to 10 unique video concepts right then and there. Just be careful during this process. Don't just pick random, messy, or confusing topics. Focus on content that fits your field. It's also generally best to avoid involving people who do not fully understand your vision, as they might unintentionally end up ruining the content you are working so hard to create. In short, the number of content creators will only continue to grow, which means that making social media content is becoming increasingly challenging and advanced every single day. I sincerely hope that the information we're providing is genuinely useful and necessary for you to compete in this highly competitive market.